It started around the middle of October. I was at work. It was absolutely throwing it down with rain. I went out to a car. I completely lost my footing, landing heavily on my side and onto the bottom of my back. A couple of days later, I woke one particular morning and couldn't move. Couldn't get out of bed, couldn't move my legs. All of a sudden it all stopped. Everything ground to a halt. I was unable to go to work. I was just getting sick pay through work, which was for a certain period of time. But then that started to reduce. My attention started to go from getting my back sorted to how I'm now going to deal with my income starting to reduce, knowing that it's going to reduce even further over the next few months. I started to find myself struggling, not from a physical perspective, but more from a mental issue in terms of how am I actually going to cope. It was my head of HR turned around to me and said, have you heard of a charity called Ben? And we recommend that you give them a call just to see if they can help. I was getting to the point where I couldn't afford to buy food in the house. I couldn't afford to put petrol in the car to go and see my kids. What can I do to improve this situation? And surely if from a financial perspective, that's going to help. It wasn't a case that Ben were going to write me a check and solve all my problems. It became a lot more clear that I needed a lot more direction in terms of how I was going to get out of it. I was on my own trying to deal with these issues. You wanted to curl up in a ball and shut the world away, and not knowing how to deal with any aspect of life, all of a sudden you realised that things were a lot more serious and you needed to do something about it. You can have conversations with family and friends and they think that they're offering the right words of support, but deep down they really haven't got a clue. You feel that you can't really open up from a mental issue state, from a depressive state, to a member of your family and friends. You could only do that to somebody who will actually listen and to understand and actually look at putting a plan forward, and just that ability to be able to open up was just something else. You lose complete faith in yourself, you lose complete confidence in yourself. There are people that you do want to talk to but are not really listening, that don't understand what you're going through. So from a social perspective, you tend to become very introverted and tend to shut people away. You never felt for one single second were you picking up the phone to talk to somebody who was thinking, right, I've started at 9 o'clock, I'm going to finish at 6 o'clock, and at the end of the day, that's it, I've done my job. Far from it. I would just get a phone call every now and again, just as a catch up, just to see how things are, how you're going. Not over intrusive, but at the same time, you knew every single minute of the day, if you needed them, they were there. I really don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for those guys. So, just the biggest thank you that I could give.